All right, welcome back to Hexcom. Today, it's a little bit different. I do not have a post-mortem or a recap or a hot wash or whatever for an encounter. I've paused this encounter here on round 3, as you can see, about halfway through round 3. This is a hard encounter. It's 800 XP, which is pretty challenging for a party of 5 first level characters. Not impossible by any means, but definitely difficult. As you can see, I've already got my shaman dying. He's making death saving throws. I've got my rogue on the ropes, hurting. I've got my hunter almost bloodied. We're not even all the way through round 3 yet. So these clowns are tough. I'm having a hard time. I put together a clown killer unit here, and they're doing better. I'll say that. They're doing better than the previous party, which got completely wiped out by the clowns. The plan here was to put together a range team with balanced roles and just see how that worked, because as I was discovering, and as some of you told me in the comments, just random characters is not going to work. You're just going to have a bad time. Completely correct. You really need to be filling those roles with a striker and a leader, etc. So I am doing better. I think it's still possible to win this encounter, but I want some input. So the shaman has a lizard, or this is actually a spirit companion out here. I don't know. I have to look. I don't know if that goes away when he dies or he's dying, or what the rules on that are. So this might actually be gone. But Papa Six down here is still doing okay. Probably is going to beat this clown who is bloodied. You know, a lot of the clowns are hurting. I've got one at full health, and their pet kobold is still at full health. So, like I said, not impossible. We're doing better, but let me know how you would solve this encounter at this point. Middle of round 3, already got a guy dying. Do I start pulling out dailies already? Do I retreat? What do I do? Or is this just too hard? Is 800 XP just out of my league? It's very possible I just am really bad at Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition. I'm still out of practice, and I still don't know all the optimizations and all the tricks to win. And that's what we're trying to do here, is trying to set up kind of like a wargaming scenario for 4E and try and win games. So far, the winning is a bit mixed. I've won some, I've lost some, TPKs, and now here I am asking for your help of what to do. So that's this encounter. I'll post the characters and, try and get this up on the Discord if you want to come take a look. Not required. The Discord is not super active. That's just kind of the archive of where I'm putting this stuff. YouTube and this Discord. Just a place to store the information. But the other question I have is, what can I do to improve solo gaming in 4E? There's not a lot of tools for it. Maybe it's just a system that doesn't support solo gaming, even though they have like a couple of brief paragraphs in the DMG about playing without a DM. It's just not as good as AD&D for that. I mean, AD&D just kind of supports everything you want to do. That's why it's the best edition, I would say. 4E, this Hexcom experiment has proven to me that I really love 4E. I love playing it. Building characters is fun. Building encounters is fun. Just everything about thinking about it and reading the rules, I'm having a really good time with, but I'm struggling with the solo aspects of it in the same way that I struggle with the AD&D aspects. And maybe that's just kind of a no-brainer for most people. Like, AD&D is supposed to be, D&D of any edition is supposed to be a social game. This is what you get for making videos about complaining about DM stories. That's why we have DM stories. Um, I'm not so egotistical as to say I'm correct about everything. It's just that I have thoughts about how this could be, and I don't know. I'm still a little torn. Like, would this encounter be more fun, be more playable if it was human versus human instead of, I mean, a player versus another player? Because as I mentioned before, I just find myself rushing through it. I don't know that I'm using the powers as effectively as I could because, just when you're playing by yourself, you just have to play every one of these. It's so much, and it gets kind of tiring to come up with the optimal move on every turn. I'm doing my best, and I think I've done okay, but it's very easy to skip over powers that might give you a little bit of an edge or, get you out of range of some attacks. And I think, it's quite possible that 4E in particular is not well suited to solo play. Let me know what you think. I'd be willing to open these games up to other players if there's any kind of interest. I'm not against that at all. This was supposed to be just a solo experiment because I didn't want to set up any pressure on myself to keep a giant campaign running and then lose interest and then like, oh, okay, well, I've done, we've all been there where you get really excited, you play a couple of games. I mean, that happens in every D&D game. It's really hard to keep going, especially online with people you don't know. So that was never the plan, but I'm just wondering, is this just too much for one person? I don't know. It's a question. Let me know what you think. Thanks.